Hello and welcome to Avalon.ist, the Great Avalon Tournament, game number 9. For the player on my team this game, it is Pat, who has M1 Hammer, so hopefully I win this game. We've lost the last couple games. It ain't looking good for my team, but you know, there's hope. The tournament is still young. So, we have our first pick of the game. It's Liz. Liz is off picking the blue dude 7 and Bashenov. I think that's how you say his name. So this is saying there's a spy in one of those two. Or he's saying she, they. I'm going to say she, and if I gender incorrectly, please tell me, and I'll fix it next time I comment about you. She's saying that she doesn't want blue dude on M1, so there's a spy in one of those two. I'm going to give these players, I'm going to highlight their chat too, just to make it a bit easier to read. So we'll give Pat this color. Oh, that's not going to be easy to read at all. I'm sure there's like a lighter hue I could go with, but for now we'll stick it like that. And Bub is off picking Pat and Jeb, a flip pick. And Jeb on picks Liz. Interesting. If I had to rank these players, I think Bashenov is probably the best player in this lobby. So I would expect Bashenov to win, based on the quote-unquote ELO, or if this game was played around 100 times, I would expect him to win the most. But anything can happen. So Jeb reses Liz. Now, if Bashenov wanted Liz, okay, so he picks that. That's kind of a zero information pick for Pat for the hammer. And if you're on 1.4, you want 1.5 to pick correctly from their point of view. And so this pick is kind of hard for Pat. I would say it spies Jeb a bit more, and maybe you want to pick the blue dude. But it turns into like a 50-50 between Liz and the blue dude. I would slightly prefer picking the blue dude from this M1 from Jeb, because if Baz wanted Liz on there, then he could just off pick. He could off pick blue dude and Bub. He could have also flip picked Liz and blue dude, which is kind of resing Liz. But I don't know if I like this one as much. This feels odd to me. Feels odd after 1.4. Because from my point of view, I think 1.4... I mean, 1.4 reses Pat is what it does. It says, hey, if M1s are correct to Bub and Jeb, then Baz is resing Pat. I don't know. I guess we can wait and see and see what happens. Let's look for, let's say M1 plus 1 is clean. Let's look for the team then, since we don't really have much else to do besides speculate currently. If M1 plus 1 is clean, then we never add blue dude. And the add is in Jeb and Bub. It's kind of a 50-50. So let's see what Bub and Jeb pick. If one of them picks something besides M1 plus themselves, then that just eliminates the teams. Now, keep in mind, Blue Dude is never an add to M1+1. He should probably accuse it. I don't think that it's based on his information. He knows that Liz and Baz has a spy if M1s are correct. If you look at this, at 1.1. So I think it's better for him to accuse. Which he didn't. That's his discussion. Or that's his decision. So, whatever. It's a fail! Uh-oh. So M2 fails. There's probably a spy in Pat and Baz. Unless Pat picked wrong. I think the only team with Pat and Baz both being res and M1s being correct would be like Bub, Blue Dude, Pat, and Baz. Right? Does that really violate any M1s? Nope. Nope. I mean Pat, but I think, yeah. So then Pat does not pick the Baz team. Pat instead picks the Liz team. Which doesn't really... Look at this chat line right here. Baz is like, what are you doing? That's the only chat this game. I think they're complaining because there was no ready up button. Oh man. Oh man. If this is clean, yeah. Pat versus Bub. And Baz spies Pat. I agree. Their only team together would have been this. Liz, I agree. I'm on 2 fails. So maybe start talking? BD, do you have info? M1s look good. So Liz says that Liz functionally spies Baz from Blue Dude's point of view. Which means that Liz's team with the Blue Dude would be do. Yep, that means it would be these two. And Jeb is spying Pat. So this is Pat's team. And Pat spies Liz. Makes no sense. I think Pat's just a spy. Pat can't really spy Liz. So that means Liz is... Oh man, unless Pat is just goofing up, which I did actually consider. I think Pat could be VT. I don't think if Pat has like a PR name, then Pat would be Morgana. Otherwise, Pat is VT. I don't think that Pat is Merlin or Percy. Pat goes, not gonna lie, I'm stressed. I think this is Res outing. And Jeb, I have such a hard time reading Jeb because Jeb just says nothing, and he just picks on-picks Liz. And these two guys kind of res Liz, so I think Liz is res here anyway. Bub is saying, okay, M2 is a single. I have some info. Lamau. Pat doesn't really sound good right now, but I'm gonna ignore that. Bub is resing blue dude here. Because Bub is saying Liz likes M1s. And Baz is a spy. And if M1s are correct and Baz is a spy, then blue dude would be res. So left hand side, I think, is clean. That's Pat's team too. Look at this. All these people just are crapping on Pat. And Pat's getting tilted. Oh wow, I'm attacking you. Pat doesn't have a team. I'm not going to consider Pat anymore. Jeb will honestly stay dead silent as res, which is really tough. So what? I think it's these two, and they have to like figure this out. I like left hand side the most. I do. Unless it's zigzag. And if it's zigzag, then why? I like left-hand side the most. Jev isn't really offering anything, even though he's on one team. But like, I don't know. Yeah, he spies the obvious spy. This is such bad chat. Look at him. He's like, I can't have anyone talking. I'm going to control this game for zero reason. Yep. Blue dude is res as well. Is it possible? Oh my gosh. Liz, what are you doing? She's lost. She lost. This is kind of useless. And Jeb reses Bub. Oh, so Jeb sides Baz. Yeah, I would just go with left hand side. Now there is kind of a problem. Because Liz is saying Pat shouldn't go on M4. As opposed to just downright spying Pat. But maybe that's just how Liz's game is going. Look at Liz. Bub has good chat. Liz likes M1s. Liv reses Bub. It just kind of spies Baz. I think it's just left-hand side plus Jeb, or left-hand side plus Bat. But I think Baz is a confirmed spy. And I would expect them all to app this, unless for whatever reason it's just clowns. But Baz is also just not chatting. Look at this. Has Baz chatted this game? Oh, There we go. Here, let's highlight it. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 lines of chat in critical. I rejected this for now. Why are you rejecting for now? Ludo can't really reject that. But I don't know. This is so bad, chat. This is so bad, chat. Also, Vaz. Team with this guy completely rejected? Must be Rez. It's a bit silly. It's a bit silly. I'm gonna look away for a bit because I just feel like nothing's happening. Pat is just a spy. Everyone keeps spying Pat. Liz is stalling. Something is up this game. And Liz reses Bub. I think if she's not going to pick left-hand side, then she's got to pick this team. I know. Jeb doesn't talk as Rez, so that's doesn't matter if you're trying to do that. What's interesting is that early on I did want to see this team. I think that's their only team together. But they just don't like each other for whatever reason. So I know, that's so bad. What is Liz doing? This is not the most amazing quality game, I will admit. But I think she's trying her best. And I'm here for it, Liz. I want you to win. Let's start looking through this game and deciding assassinations and whatnot. Let's say if Pat is Rez, then Liz is Merlin. Absolutely. And Liz is just dead. That's the only way Pat is Rez. Liz is rezzing Jeb. I think Liz also stated that this is a team. Yep, look, Jeb is proposing the team that Liz said was clean. But it's not really helpful. Besides, I mean, all he did was spy the obvious spy. And he just refused to chat. Oh, she's going with it. Yep. She wants to see that team. Let's see, how many times did he chat? 6 times in critical. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jebby Jeb. Yeah, he never talks like that. Not surprised. She also spied Baz already, because she said M1s look right. So Pat's a confirmed spy, and Baz is a confirmed spy. I don't know why they aren't just picking left-hand side plus Jeb. So let's say Pat is assassin. Oh, everybody out. It's clean. Clean. Poggers. And me. Liz has the most uncertain chat on the planet. And Liz likes Bub, Jeb, Liz over left-hand side. Jeb has no idea what's going on. I don't think Jeb is Merlin. Although, to be fair, 1.3 is a bit weird. How does Liz know that M1s are correct? Well, okay, Liz is on N2. She knows that Pat and Baz has a spy, at least one. If Pat and Baz has a spy, then I agree. Oh, Jeb is talking. It's very bizarre. Liz already said M1s are good. I don't think. Baz is so silent too. I don't like Baz as much this game. I like Blue Dude more. Even though he did shade him for that. But he was so silent. I would expect Baz to be a stronger player. I agree that his M1 doesn't make sense. I think it's just Pat and Baz. You sure? That's really Ruz chat. This is no shame resistance. NSR. I agree. I also agree. Liz didn't really waver that much. See. He didn't say anything until now. He didn't like participate. All he did was spy Pat, which, you know, 3.1 is not a good team to app. And Baz also likes to shade his spy mate. Because it almost sounded like he was rezzing Pat at the beginning. And Pat sounded like VT as well. When he said, I'm kind of stressed. Something's up with this statement. And if someone would say something like this, I would expect them either to be VT or they would be a spy mate with something like with someone that isn't that great. And so I think Bashanov is a better player than Blue Dude. And so maybe he's talking about it being top and he's stressed out because he doesn't want to mess up. Man. Let's see what they say. Would Pat pick doubling or singling? Doubling is harder to figure out. If I've already unmerlined, we should add blue. Look at this spam. I would just go with the Blue Dude. Liz's chat. Liz has a lot of information. Liz also stated that it was M1s were correct. And that's the only team where M1s are correct from her point of view. Especially at this point. Like, because Baz can't be res picking correct if he off picks 2 res. This star. Something's up. There, yeah, see like. Mm-hmm. This is interesting. Well, I guess say goodbye to Merlin. Liz is dying this game, whoever she reses. The only way Liz isn't Merlin is if it's Liz to BD and Baz. I think you have to pick left-hand side plus Jeb, otherwise Liz dies. Now this is... Oh my gosh, Bob has no idea. This is kind of painful to watch. Just because they aren't really progressing anything. The blue dude. Look at him. Why are you emotionally manipulating in a social deduction game? Why are you trying to win, Pat? Bruh, come on. I mean, Liz hates Maz. I think she just... Oh, that's scummy. That's so scummy. Yeah. Liz is dead. That's so scummy. Oh. Pat did that. This is the team I was asking for the entire time. Why did she stall so much? Pat, they were both confirmed spy. I just started stalling and I doubted myself. That's scummy. That's so scummy. That is so scummy. That's so scummy. I don't mind the emotional manipulation. But, like, that's fine. That's his win con. But that, saying if I'm a spy playing this way, I'm literally gonna stop playing the game. Ah, that's so scummy. Liz is obviously VT. I don't know, man. I think the blue dude is more likely Merlin. Also, he'd pick for Jax clean on 4.1. I don't think Liz is VT. She res Bub. Why does she rev Bub? When is 4.1? Okay, time to put our thinking caps on. Sorry about that. Just trying to pull something else up. He wanted to check Bub's Merlin. Liz even stated, I think M1s are correct. I think it's just the blue dude. I think it's Liz to the blue dude. She stated that M1s are correct. She knew it for a fact that M1s are fine. She said, I don't think it's Pat. And she just kind of ignored Baz. And Jeb apped that. But, you know. Looking at mission picks, I don't think Bub is Merlin. He just like mirror picked it basically. Which is fine, but it just didn't give a lot of info. Baz resed Pat in M2, and he can get morged for that in M4. I don't get why left-hand side isn't liked more. How was the team I liked in M3? And that's what I was asking for in M3. And that's what made the most sense logically in M3. At least from an observer point of view that I'm taking. So, why? He wears his hat? Great apps. So something's wrong with that. Pluto just like called her res when she's on 2. And he just reses her. He says there's a spy within Pat and Baz. Awful. He's very logical. I res Liz? Yes, you did. But why do you res Liz before she really does anything? When exactly did he res Liz? Was that a logical thing? Ones look good from my point of view. And obviously M2 single. Why do you say M2 single? Oh, it doubles. What? Liz, no! It's so obvious, that's why in M5 they're both off it, and you still want emissions. That's not Merlin. Pat could be spied pretty easily. Oh, and Bub repeats this information. Yes. Well, yep. What should I make of that? How about missions, Blue? Well, yeah, I already said Liz shouldn't like bad. Yep. I rejected for now. Bubs is res. She just asked Jeb, what do you think? Well, you can Bub. Okay. I think I'd shoot the blue dude here. Ooh, hey, this is some chat. Let's read what they're thinking. Let's see. If blue is Percy to Jeb. Yeah, I don't get it. %70 on blue being Riley. I agree with that. I think Liz to blue makes the most sense. Because he just reses Liz. Actually, she's like, M1 singles. Okay, she's res. I don't know if that's accurate. I think it's better to probably spy her there. Mm-hmm. Right. He did a lot of work this game. I'm gonna go get a glass of water quick. I'm gonna keep this rolling, but I think that it's probably lose to blue and Baz. And I guess we'll see what happens. Oop, didn't make that noise. Sorry. Okay, I am back. I got some taffy too, so I'm pretty happy. I guess I want to know what. Oh, sorry, you can probably hear this. Does this count as ASMR? It's probably ASMR. Jib to blue is fine as well. I think Jib to blue or Liz to blue is the combo. Liz to blue, like, I don't know why that makes sense to me, but she kind of just stalls and she's confused. She's certainly not Merlin, especially after that stall. Ooh, somebody took the roles for the game. Has learnt. Learnt? That's not correct in this context. I think it's just learned. Hold up. Learned. Learned versus learned. I disagree with this. Learned. Well, I'm not freaking British, so should be learned. I don't know why they take so much time. I'd just shoot blue. I think blue to Jeb or blue Merlin. Those are combos. It's blue or Jeb. I would just shoot blue. I'm always shoot Percy though, so maybe it's just blue to Jeb. Actually, no. The last 2 games I've shot correctly. I'm not exactly a sharpshooter, but not the worst either. That's always good. One thing I do have to say about this website. Oh. I agree, it's blue to Jeb or just blue. I don't think it's blue to Jeb. Oh man, this is kind of stressful. I want this to be over. This recording should not take 50 minutes. It should take like 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna have to change this in the future. I feel like I'm just wasting too much time. Oh, 1 second. I have to lick Maxi too. The dead dude 7. Nice. And the last tournament that was hosted in Pro Avalon, they would send oh my god. Bats. That's so funny. Oh, I probably can't talk about that during a tournament game. That's hilarious. Okay. This is taking way too much time. I think Pat's just nervous because Pat doesn't want to miss the shot. They technically have another 13 minutes. If Jeb was Merlin, then top would be picked, I think. I don't know. That Giga stall was something else. I think it's just blue dude. Let's see, I'll delete the recording if I'm wrong. Okay, it's Liz to blue dude! I said that immediately. Poggers. minutes of that assassination take? 25 minutes just for me to say the shot in 3. Bold. Alright, well that's game 2. Or not game 2. Game number 9. And we won! I will see you next game.